Hi, I'm Stephanie Northrup, and I'm here to give you a little taste of what I create with my artwork. A lot of my work is inspired by the Bible and by the Book of Mormon. The first piece I want to talk about is Alma comforts Amulek in his afflictions. This piece is about Alma and Amulek, who are from the Book of Mormon. They were missionaries in Amulek's hometown. They were imprisoned, spit on, persecuted, and then they watched the believers that they had taught be burned. And so Amulek, he loses everyone that he loves, everything that's dear to him. And there's a miraculous event where the chains are broken and the building falls, the prison that they're in tumbles to the ground, and they get to leave the prison. And then there's just this quiet little moment that happens after that they mention in the scriptures where they say that Alma took Amulek into his own home and comforted him in his afflictions. And that just really touched me. And so I wanted to capture that. And they go on to be great missionaries together, and there's great healing through Christ. This is actually number 2. In the original piece, I have red, white, and blue in the background, the red being the fire of the believers who were burned, the blue being the waters of baptism, which I still have pictured in this version, where they brought people to be baptized as missionaries, and the white being the healing light of Christ in their lives. Another piece is Enoch to Noah in his hands. Enoch was called to preach the gospel. He was slow of speech. He teaches the gospel. The people listen to him anyway, and they create a city of people that is so perfect that they are taken up into heaven by the Lord. So you can see the hand of the Lord taking the city of Enoch up into heaven. And there's Noah, who, of course, now that all of the righteous people have been taken up to heaven, except for whoever stayed behind to have Noah, there's 2 generations between Enoch and Noah. Now that all those righteous people are gone, there's an extremely wicked world left. And of course we know the story of Noah. The earth is flooded, and the Lord teaches Noah to build a boat to save the existing righteous people and the animals and so forth. And so the other hand of the Lord is depicted being Noah's boat. This is kind of a special story, because you can see that sometimes the Lord lifts us out of our problems, and sometimes the Lord says, I'm sorry, you need to stay in this world with problems, but I will help you learn to float. This is Abish running. Abish was a servant in a Lamanite household in a story in the Book of Mormon. Her father had had a vision, and so he believed in Jesus Christ. And missionaries come to their city teaching about Jesus Christ. And at this time, she had lived her whole life living her faith in secret, because it was not legal for her to practice her faith. The king and queen are miraculously converted, and Abish goes running through the city, gathering the people to tell them the good news. The brother of Jared is depicted here. The brother of Jared was living in Babel when the Tower of Babel was being built. The people of Babel didn't want to get into heaven by doing good things. They thought they would sneak in by building a tower. So I've carved into the wood the Tower of Babel, and there's holes drilled in there, and those are the people who are just empty inside. They want to go to heaven, but they don't really want to be good. The brother of Jared chooses not to participate in this and is striding away from the Tower of Babel. He doesn't need their tower to heaven, because he has a tower to heaven carved within himself. He's going to get there because he loves God and he loves his children, and he's willing to do what is right to get there. And then later we know that he builds boats under the Lord's direction and gets light in those boats through 16 stones that are touched by the finger of the Lord. And so those 16 stones are depicted here. So he's striding away from the Tower of Babel and towards the 16 stones.